The problem with libertarianism is that liberty is not the highest political virtue. The highest political virtue is order. That is the greatest ordering principle. That is the greatest governing principle. Order.
Not God.
Order comes first, liberty comes second, and order has to be maintained by a powerful state. Order has to be maintained by authority. And where does authority proceed from?
God.
Force, guns, overwhelming force, power that comes out of the end of a rifle, and legitimacy. The
Yo,
people
boy.
have to believe in the authority of the state. And if these things are being undermined by freedom, by liberty, then you don't get liberty. And people like to say that Ben Franklin thing about liberty and safety, liberty and safety. It's about order and disorder. Forget about safety and liberty. It's about order and disorder. And what Hobbes writes is that even a bad order is better than disorder, than chaos, than a war of all against all, a total collapse of authority. Because do you know what happens when the power goes out? Rape. Okay? Rape.
Come the fear mongering.
Murder, looting, pillage, marauding, barbarism, an orgy of the crowds, an orgy of violence and chaos and hatred and anger. Okay, it's like the kinds of war crimes in Abu Ghraib. Okay, it's like the kinds of war crimes committed in Vietnam.
He fear mongering
and
for a
Iraq.
long time.
When you have a total collapse of order, you get things that it's beyond human comprehension. So this is a very free country. This is one of the freest countries to ever exist.
Based on liberty.
And the problem is that those things are starting to become undermined.
As there's more government.
The force and the legitimacy that founds the authority of the state, which holds the country together, which enforces the laws. And libertarians, they have a little bit too much faith in people and a little bit too much faith in the individual. I don't believe in the individual. And I'm individualistic, but I'm not an individualist. Individualism only makes sense in a white, Christian, patriarchal society.
Solutionaries. I done told y'all for a while now that this dude was an absolute clown. And I gotta laugh, but I also gotta go, damn, people generally don't make it that easy for me. They hide their true intentions and the things that I've been warning about people for a while. They act like what I'm saying is not the case. But right here, Nick Fuentes lays out why Maj is yet again right. Maj is mostly right. Why? Because he's a collectivist. Now, you would imagine that somebody that's a collectivist that says they admire Hitler and Stalin, fascism, communism, overreaching government, the power of the state, collectivism, that faux law and order that comes from the power of the state is still involving individuals, but he's not smart enough to understand that. And a lot of y'all clap for this moron. A lot of y'all got fooled because somebody's charismatic, that automatically means that their intelligence in one area slides into other areas. What do I mean? The ability to articulate what the Israeli government is doing with the people of Palestine and AIPAC and all that other stuff, everybody can articulate that. These are things that Minister Farrakhan talked about in the 90s. This is not new. This is not hard math. Ironically, him saying that there should be more government, the Israeli government and lobbying groups are operating to use more control. This is not difficult thinking, but some of y'all that don't understand that because you don't understand civics, history, any of that, you think that this makes him super smart. So because he can say funny things, y'all think that that intelligence translates into liberty, and it doesn't. This is the type of person that they would utilize to put in a position to pretend like they're the resistance, to make it look like, oh, they're pushing back against him. So they can get younger people to worship the state. That's literally a psyop. That's from the Nazi propaganda book #1, like phase 1, 101. Making young people have a charismatic leader that they follow behind, that they don't question because he's funny or he says other things. And this person is literally saying, I do not believe in individual liberty. And that verbiage is the exact opposite of the American ideals, the founding of America. Even the white Christian men or the white men that were deists, they believed in individual liberty. So he's talking about America's the freest nation of all. It's been the most free because the basis, even with overreaching government, even with the Federal Reserve, even with centralized banking, even with more and more and more and more government and more and more and more and more ignorance, America has been a very free nation for a decent amount of time because the founding principles were based on the ideals of individualism that defend the collective, that also respects property rights, respects humans, and respects the collective's agreement to say, this is what we want as individuals that make up this collective, and this is our representative that will articulate that for us. That is literally the opposite of the shit that he's talking about right now. But if you didn't take the civics and liberty class, you didn't pay the fuck attention in high school, you don't know that. You just fallen victim to a charismatic dude that's a comedian at best. And I get it. He said some things that align with your bigotry and your bias. The fastest way to get things like that popping and get popular is to galvanize around hate. If I talk about the hate, the things that people hate, I'll galvanize around it, and those people, because they like me, they will not be critical of the things that I say. They will not be critical about the fact that I am literally saying, I want you to not have more rights, and that should come from the authority of the government. Any libertarian that holds court with that shit is not a libertarian. And I was critical of a lot of y'all giving this person all of the praise and all that. I muted a whole lot of you motherfuckers. Because y'all, for some reason, can't see the bullshit. I don't know. As a libertarian, I got tricked on this go-around. I believed that Trump really wanted to overthrow the Biden regime and how they fucked him over in 2020. I thought that was going to be a great redemption arc. But once I saw that that's not what it is, I've been able to call Trump's situation out. Pam Bondi's horrible. Vivek's horrible, was horrible. Fucking, it would have been great. Fucking Tulsi Gabbard has damn near not even been in existence. All of these things fell through. And I'm objective enough to say that's not what we paid for. I got a receipt, but that ain't the shit I bought. All right? But y'all don't want to say that because it's organized around your bigotry or your hatred of some shit. Y'all cool with ignoring certain shit, these obvious red flags, because he's funny. And that's how our country started going in a direction where we're more in support of popularity or personality more than principle, more than limiting government, more than the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, things of that sort. So we got here because of this type of shit, but ironically, this person is advocating for more. And I read the comment section, it's like people agreeing with this shit. We could tell how much of y'all don't read and don't study or don't understand American history because you still believe in the government. You still think that an entire government is not made up of individuals making dumb decisions and those individuals being humans and saying, I'm going to inflict pain upon people at the use of the barrel of that gun and that rifle that he's talking about. Y'all don't know that, so y'all think that, oh yeah, he's coming through with some cutting edge shit. Mao said this shit, Hitler said this shit, Stalin said this shit. It's old. Anyone who says individual rights and liberty should take a backseat to government is somebody that you should only look at as the help, a clown, a moron, or entertainment. These people are comedians that haven't done the work to get on stage. These people are nighttime TV talk show hosts at best, saying edgy things, shock jocks, but they are not thought leaders, and they are definitely not fucking life coaches. They're comedians who didn't do the work to be comedians, and they clowns without the fucking face paint. Maj, you just mad that he got more followers than you. My followers are Solutionary, and there's always throughout history more goofy people that will follow the bread and circuses and be entertained than there are intelligent people willing to course correct the nation. Even in the American Revolutionary War, they say there's only 3% of people that was willing to actually fight against the crown. I'm always of the belief that there's going to be more people to follow that goofy message than doing the work to become solutionary. So I know some of y'all, oh, he got more followers than you. No, I'm telling you guys that this person is a moron and you're just not paying attention to how moronic he is because you're caught up in the hype. These are not life coaches. These are clowns and entertainers. They are bitches that have never been with women, never served the community. They got behind fucking microphones and said stuff that was kind of funny, and even broke clocks are right twice a day. So when they say something right about government, the Israeli government, an overreach, then in turn say, you gotta have the authority of the government to keep people in line, they expose their contradictions. The more intelligent of us solutionaries knew early, and I'm so glad that Nick made it easier for me to articulate this to y'all and came from behind cover and concealment so you can see exactly what he is. He is a statist that meat gobbles the government, pretending like he's for the people or the resistance, and is more than likely a fucking intelligence plant put there to argue and present more government for your youth. Don't be a moron. Take the civics and liberty class. Put your perspective in the comment section. I would love to hear you guys defend this goofy shit. My name is Maj Toure, the founder of Solutionary University. Hope to see you in the comment section soon. Be safe, be solutionary. Don't be a meat gobbling statist pretending like you're for the people.